Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of 30 Plus Click with Max and Yo-Yo. First things first, thank you so much to everybody who has tuned in for the last few episodes, everybody who has shared, everybody who's followed, everybody who's made a date with 30 Plus Click in the last few episodes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We continue to encourage you to please like, share, comment, do all the 9 yards. We're seeing it, we're seeing all your efforts, and we're so grateful. But without further ado, what are we talking about today?
Hi, Max. So today we're going to be talking about transition. So transition happens every time. So you can be transitioning from a new country to another one, and you can be transitioning from an old city to a new city. You can be transitioning from your former address to another place, and so just transitions in life in general. So that's what we're talking about. So Max, do you want to share one or two insight or experience about how you navigated your transition?
I mean, for me, it was more like transitioning from a city to a city. And let me tell you this, it was not easy, but it was all about staying the course. It was all about having a vision, having a goal, having like something that you're chasing. Because I'm a goal-oriented person, right? And so usually when I have a goal that I'm chasing, it's just something that fuels me to keep on going. And so in that moment when I was transitioning from city to city, like I literally went to a city where I knew nobody, had no idea what I was going to do next. And I'm not saying that you should pack up and leave your home. That's not what I'm saying. Please have a plan. But in that moment when I was transitioning, I literally had a goal that kept fueling me that first few weeks when or months when it wasn't looking the best. Funny enough, like it was just like there were people who were strategically placed, to be able to help me along my journey. And it's really what it is. But I'm just really grateful that I made the move eventually. But at the end of the day, I would just say if you're thinking about it, if you're at a place where you're thinking you need to make a move, whether it's in your career, whether it's in where you live, whether it's in where you in anything that you're doing, the first thing I will ask yourself is, I will say, is to have an honest conversation. I always say this: have an honest conversation with yourself about where you are and then what you want to do next. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely. Yes. So you have an honest conversation and do yourself a very good thing to remember those conversations because as you transition, you would need to fall back to those conversations because they become the pillars. I also remember a time where I transitioned from one career, from one country to the other. So one thing that foiled my motivation and one thing that foiled my focus was I don't want this and I don't want it to continue. I want something different. I want something new. But what is the new thing? I don't know. But I was able to sustain the passion. I was able to sustain the push with the fact that I don't want this anymore. And so as you transition, find your push. As you transition, find your strength. And so there might not be lots of them, there might not be many pillars, but know what is driving you, and that would help you to go through the rough and tough moments as you decide to transition. Max, what do you think?
And I think for me, it's also a conversation about knowing what to do next. It's one thing to have a push, it's one thing to have a vision, it's one thing to have a drive, but it's what is the next thing. So someone once says there are we have a few visionaries, but we have a lot of visionaries. Visionaries in the sense of like we have people who are willing, who wish that they can do this and this and the other, but like they just feel visionary. Visionaries are people who have a vision and then they go through with it. So in terms of like having that push and everything, then you need to know what to do next because you have to follow through. Your transition phase will not be complete unless you take the steps to follow through. I this is one that is so striking to me. I have a friend who literally studied medicine in the university. Of course, we probably all have friends whom took courses that their parents insisted that you will study medicine, you will be a doctor, you will be a lawyer. But this, my friend, even though he was very excellent in school, he knew that this is not what he wanted to do in his life. And today he is not a doctor. Not that he doesn't have the degree, not that he cannot practice, he can. But he took the steps. He said to me the other day, he said, I realized that I have a passion for technology. I have a passion for IT. And I made that transition from being a medical doctor to being an IT tech bro. And what did I need to do? He took the courses that he needed to take. He put in his 10,000 hours for him to learn what it means to be in that space. And today he's doing very well for himself. So one of the things I acknowledged my friend for was for knowing what he wanted, having that honest conversation with himself, and of course taking the steps to transition. So it's not just about like, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to do, but knowing the next few steps. And I understand that it might not be easy, but you really have to come to the place where when you know what you want to do, then you have to take the steps to follow through.
Absolutely. There is no way you can say it better than what you've said. And if you're at that phase in life where what you have now is just your wish list, well, don't feel bad. At least you have a wish list. There are some other people that don't even have a dream. They don't even have a wish list. So look through those wish lists and pick up those other ones that you can convert into vision. And when you find your vision, don't keep quiet about it. If you don't have the strength, you don't know what to do, connect with those people that have gone ahead of you, ask questions, and seek counsel, and you will be able to transition from your wish list to your vision list and for it to become reality.
All right, then I guess that is all we have for you today on this episode. We just really wanted to jump on here, to talk real quick about being in a place of transition, because we know that many of our 30 plus community is the life is all about transitioning from your 20s to your 30s in and of itself is a transition, right? Whatever it is, wherever it is you find yourself, we just want you to have a goal, to have something, a vision that you're working towards, and to continue to follow through. That is the word. That is the word for this episode. Follow through. And until next time, for me and Yo-Yo, it's have a wonderful day. Bye.